Columbia News at 6.
It is Veterans Day, and thank you to all the brave fighting men and women who answered the call to serve our country. Good evening, I'm Ben Hoover.
And I'm Alicia Barnes. This Veterans Day comes in the wake of voters selecting a new commander-in-chief, Donald Trump.
Our Gabrielle Franklin spoke with several veterans today, and like most of us, they are divided when it comes to their feelings on the election results. And Gabrielle, helping veterans and doing more for our veterans was something that Donald Trump talked a lot about in the election.
Ben and Alicia, that's right. Today I spoke with servicemen and women who have been serving our country, and that's what the day is all about. I spoke with them, and most of them tell us that they are hoping that President-elect Trump will be in their corner. Hundreds line Laurel and Sumter streets for the annual Veterans Day Parade in Columbia. As military members and state officials greet onlookers, veterans explain why events like these are important.
It's hard to put into words, but yeah, we need to be behind these people. Unless you've been in the service and been away from home, and some of them that have been in conflict and in battles and wars, they don't know what they go through, and a lot of them just being away from home. It's a big deal, and so we need to support them in every way we can.
Your veterans actually give up a lot to be vets. I mean, I've spent 4 years in the Navy, 2 years on inactive duty, and if I had to, I'd go back in today.
With the changing political and social environment in our country, we asked our veterans if they felt that our nation's next president would support them.
I think he'll support the military, and definitely want to see a situation, find a solution to the ISIS situation across overseas, but still a lot has to do with Congress and everything else. So at least he's standing up for the military and the vets.
I just have to wait and see. That's the way I put it, ma'am. Just have to wait and see how things gonna work out.
Regardless of how they feel about the election, many veterans agree that America has to work as a team, a skill that many of them say they learned while serving.
You had to work as a team, or you weren't successful at what you did, and had good crewmates. We worked together. It's just that spirit of being on a group that wants to do a good job and does a good job.
Now, this is the 38th year of the annual parade. Columbia officials say that it is one of the largest Veterans Day celebrations in the Southeast. In the studio, Gabrielle Franklin, ABC Columbia News.
Well, the election of Donald Trump sparked protests across the country, and tonight Columbia is no exception. It's not clear who is organizing it, but according to an event page on Facebook, the protest is set to go from 9 this evening until 2 in the morning over at the State House. Protests sprang up across the country in the days following Trump's election, in some cases even becoming violent. The president-elect reacted to those protests, initially tweeting the protests were incited by the media and, quote, very unfair. Today he backed off that, tweeting, love the fact that the small groups of protesters last night have passion for our great country. We will all come together and be proud.
All right, let's talk about voter turnout. This year it dipped to its lowest point in 2 decades, according to election officials. Now, while votes are still being counted, so far 126 million votes are already tabulated. Well, that means about 55% of voting-age citizens cast their ballots this year. Now, that's the lowest in the presidential election since 1996, when 53.5% of voters turned out. Well, today, President Barack Obama presided over his final Veterans Day as president. This morning, he laid a wreath at Arlington Cemetery in honor of military veterans, past and present, who have served and sacrificed for their country. And this ceremony is a tradition on Veterans Day. It's a beautiful day outside. Cool, but it's beautiful.
That's right, and it's fall. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist John Farley. I know he's talking about some really cold temperatures this weekend.
Yeah, that's true. It's going to be much colder going into the weekend. Tonight, not so much, but yeah, definitely tomorrow night, and Sunday. Starting you out here, we have a pretty look across the street at the State House. A little hazy, and again, we're seeing that haze coming in. That's really smoke from the fires that are in western North Carolina and northern Georgia. The wind has been filtering in slowly from that direction today, and the result, a little smoky, a little hazy. Here are the temperatures. Mid-50s, generally speaking, to still in Columbia, upper 60s, but I think that one's a bit of a hangover. I think it hasn't updated just yet. Temperatures are cooling off out there this evening. So if you're going to a football game, it's not going to be terribly cold, I will tell you that. Probably need the sweatshirt, but that should do it. Temperatures about mid-50s by the time the games are over. Low to mid-50s, I should say. Again, remaining hazy. Now, tomorrow what's going to happen, it's going to be a different story. It'll be much cooler and blustery. So if you're out raking leaves, they're going to be blowing all over the place. So just be aware of that. You know, rake down wind is the way to go with this. Winds out of the northeast, 25, maybe at times even as high as 30. So a blustery day. And look at this. The afternoon high under bright sunny skies, only low 60s. Yeah. All right. More on the coldest night of the year so far coming up in just a bit.
All right. Thanks, John. Tragedy on a low country highway this morning after 3 children were killed in an early morning crash. According to state troopers, at 4 o'clock this morning, a tractor trailer collided with a truck on I-95 in Colleton County near the town of Yemassee. 3 other people were seriously injured. The names of the victims have not yet been released.
Well, if you were driving around Marion County this afternoon, Highway Patrol reported that a plane was forced to make an emergency landing. Some very tense moments there. This is cell phone video that was taken at the scene after the plane touched down on Highway 378 and Highway 908 in the Gresham community. EMS officials say the plane landed after a fire spread aboard a single-engine Cirrus model.
It hit my mailbox and he landed smoothly in the highway, but it was just blowing up in flames and the people were running out of it.
At arrival of the fire department, they found the plane fire was put out, and it was put out by the pilot on board. Plane had minimal damage to it and was sitting in the middle of Highway 378.
The only good news here, according to investigators, no one was injured in the incident.
Columbia police say somebody rammed a convenience store with an SUV trying to steal the ATM. Investigators say just after midnight Wednesday, the suspect drove either a 90s model GMC Jimmy or Chevy Blazer into the store on Farrer Road. If you saw anything or know anything about this attempt to steal that ATM, call Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC. The mother of an accused upstate serial killer says her son is not a monster. In an interview with CBS's 48 Hours, Regina Tegg, Todd Kohlhepp's mother, says her son is, quote, very misunderstood. Kohlhepp is charged with kidnapping after a woman was found chained in a metal container on his property. After that, deputies found her boyfriend's body as well as the bodies of a missing couple buried nearby. Kohlhepp also confessed to killing 4 people in a motorcycle shop in Chesney in 2003.
What started as an argument at a cookout results in the death of one man, and another man now is charged with manslaughter. Investigators with the Newberry County Sheriff's Department say on November 5th, Alan O'Shields and the victim were arguing at a home in Prosperity when the disagreement then turned physical. Deputies say O'Shields hit the victim in the face, causing him to fall backwards and then hit his head on concrete. The victim later died from his injuries.
The Department of Corrections is helping incarcerated veterans prepare for life outside of prison. Today, a new program was announced that would allow veteran inmates with an honorable discharge to attend the McDougall Correctional Institution. Located in Ridgeville, McDougall provides vocational programs and educational services for inmates as they reach their release date.
Remembering the lives of fallen law enforcement officers in South Carolina. Well, U.S. Representative Trey Gowdy will be the special guest speaker at a law enforcement memorial at the State House tonight at 6:30. A monument to fallen officers was placed on the grounds of the state capitol in 2005.
Well, there's a new landmark in one of Columbia's hottest spots. This afternoon, the 5 Points Association unveiled Centennial Plaza. The centerpiece of that location is a bronze statue of Colonel Jack Van Loan, a Columbia resident and Vietnam War pilot who survived as a prisoner of war for more than 6 years.
Awfully proud to be here, and I can't thank you all enough for being here. We've accomplished a lot, but we've had a great team to do it with.
Amazing. The plaza also features a fountain and floral arrangements.
Surprise! Well, this one never gets old, especially on Veterans Day. What a magical moment there. Camden Middle School student Alexander Bryce got the surprise of a lifetime this morning when his dad, Major Corey Bryce, returned home from overseas today. While Major Bryce was deployed to Qatar last April, he also surprised his daughter today at Camden High School. Oh, so good to see.
I wonder if somebody timed that hug.
Right.
How long did they embrace? Up next, that smoky smell was back today in the Midlands. We'll tell you, if you don't know already, what's behind it.
Plus, where to get a jump on your Christmas shopping and find a one-of-a-kind gift this weekend. We hope you stay with us. For more ABC Columbia News at 6, we're live from Main and Gervais. Well, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, at least over at the fairgrounds. Today, the annual Craftsman Christmas Classic opened its doors in the Canty and Goodman building. Well, the craft show features Southern artisans with work ranging from pottery to woodwork to arts and crafts and homemade ornaments, also homemade jewelry.
It feels like coming home when we come to Columbia. We've heard from customers, people around Columbia, that when this event comes to town, they know the holiday season's coming up. So it's the kickoff to Christmas shopping and getting ready for Thanksgiving and the holidays.
So if you'd like to go to the craft show, it's open Saturday and Sunday, and tickets are $8.
Well, not everyone is in the holiday spirit. Craftsman's Classic organizers say there are some Grinches in Columbia. Organizers say someone stole a trailer that belonged to a vendor from Alabama in town for the Classic. Inside, close to 100 handmade wreaths and other Christmas decorations like the ones on your screen right there. Well, they would like those back. If you know where the trailer is, call Columbia Police.
It's a state of emergency that's been declared in North Carolina due to the wildfires. I know you smell the smoke out here and what's coming from the wildfires here in South Carolina. Again today in the Midlands, seeing the smoke and the haze from these fires. Forestry officials say we're seeing elevated air quality problems because of all the smoke and the wind. And tonight, a burn ban is in place for all 19 counties in the upstate.
And even this evening, Alicia, that haze is still in the air, but going through this weekend, it's going to get windy, the smoke is going to go, and it'll get very, very cold. We'll talk about just how cold right after the break.
Experience ABC Columbia News live from Main and Gervais.